Hi, everybody. Today's lesson is a lesson on a mega hand. And a mega hand is when you have a huge point count and you're going to need several bids to describe what you have. So let's get ourselves started. I'm going to share my screen with you. Today's mega hand is called the two club opener. And we're going to talk about today's two club opener in only one aspect. There is a lot of information that we could cover, but we're going to do this in segments. And this is going to be the first of two lessons at this level of your bridge learning, where we will discuss this mega hand opening of two clubs. Now, we've covered all of the one level standard opening bids, right? We've covered one heart and one spade, and that's when you have 12 to 20 high card points and a 5-card major. We've covered the one no trump opener, and that's very specific, 15, 16, 17, and a balanced hand. We've covered the one club and one diamond opening hand, 12 to 20 high card points, and no 5-card major. You do not have a one no trump opener, and you're opening a 3-card or longer minor suit. Now, we have also discussed another kind of mega hand. We talked about the two no trump opener. We talked about the two no trump opener as a balanced hand, but it has a much bigger point count than a one no trump opener. It is very specifically 20 or 21 high card points. That was our other mega hand opener. And we also discussed responses for the two no trump opener, Stayman, Jacoby, natural. And that's going to come into play also continuing with our two club opener in our next lesson. But I want you to remember that we did talk about the two no trump opener, the other kind of mega hand. But we're going to focus today on the second kind of mega hand, the two club opening bid. Now, the two club opener is mainly used when you have what's called an unbalanced hand and you have 21 or more high card points in your hand. Okay, we'll discuss a couple of the other reasons we would use a two club opener, but this concept of the unbalanced hand and 21 or more high card points is where we're starting. It means that you probably have a 5-card or longer major, and you would open one heart or one spade if you had 12 to 20 high card points. But when you have 21 or more high card points, you're going to have a way of describing that huge point count with your 5-card major. Just opening one heart or one spade doesn't tell the whole story. If you're sitting on something like 22 or 23 or 24 opening high card points, there aren't a lot of other points left for everyone else. And so your own partner, if your partner doesn't have many points, is not likely to bid and has no idea that you were so strong. So when you are 21 or more high card points, you have to have a way of getting your partner's attention. Now, this two club opening bid is what we call a conventional bid. It is a bridge convention. And bridge conventions are designed to get your partner's attention. And in this case, this two club opening bid is supposed to get your partner's attention and say, look, I have this large point count in my hand. I'm going to become declarer most likely, but I'm going to need time to talk about it. Now, when we talk about something being a convention or conventional, we don't mean traditional. We mean it is a specifically artificial bridge bid that has a different meaning than what it looks like, a bridge convention, okay? We are artificially designating that an opening bid of two clubs is the way that we say, hey, I've got 21 or more high card points in my opening hand, and I'm going to need some time to talk about it, okay? It's really important that you understand that if your partner opens two clubs, the very first bid in the auction, two clubs, it does not mean she has clubs. I mean, she could have clubs, but she probably doesn't. It is not a hand that describes having clubs. Two clubs is an artificial bid. It's a code. We like to use minor suits as coded information because we don't like to play in minor suits. We will work very hard to not play in minor suits. So we use minor suits as coded artificial bidding in bridge, okay? So when we talk about the mega hand 2-club opener, we're talking about an opening bid. It is the very first bid in an auction. Nobody else has bid anything other than a pass, if anything. It is the first bid out of the gate other than a pass. And it has a very specific meaning. Now, you've learned how to use something, how to use a 2-club bid in other contexts. And when you use it in different ways, it does have other meanings. It's really hard to remember when 2 clubs means that 2 clubs or this 2 clubs. It's really hard, okay? Because it does have different meanings depending on who in the auction bids 2 clubs. It's based on context. So one of the things you're really going to have to get very good at is understanding the difference between the word open, respond, and overcall. They are different people in an auction, in different seats. And when each of those people bid 2 clubs, it may have different meaning. For example, on page 2 in your packet, if the person on your right, that's your right-hand opponent, your RHO, suppose the person on your right makes an opening bid of 1 heart. And now you are the second person who can bid in the auction. You are the opponent. And you bid 2 clubs, you are overcalling. That's the opponent's first bid in an auction. And when you overcall 2 clubs, you are saying to your own partner across the table, hey, in our partnership, I'm giving you this bid. And it really does mean clubs. In fact, if the person on your right opens 1 heart and you in second seat overcall 2 clubs, you are saying, look, I've got at least 5 club cards. I've got 10 to 16 high card points. I'm making a simple overcall on the 2 level. That's what it means. If your partner across the table opens 1 no trump and you as the responder make a responding bid in 2 clubs, that's stamen, right? That says, hey, opening partner in no trump, I have 8 or more high card points. I've got 4 cards in a major suit. I am looking to see if you, no trump opener, have 4 cards in a major suit as well. So in that context, when you are the responder, specifically when your partner opens 1 no trump, you are bidding stamen. Now, what if your own partner across the table makes a very, very first bid in the auction, and that bid is an opening bid of 2 clubs? Now we're talking about today's lesson, this mega hand artificial 2-club opener. And it is showing either an unbalanced hand that likely has a 5-card major in it, but it might have a 6-card minor suit, and it has 21 or more high card points. Your 2-club opening hand could also be showing a type of balanced hand, which we'll talk about in our next lesson. We're going to focus today on the most common usage. And it happens all the time when you do find yourself with a 2-club opener. The next step will almost always be what we're talking about today. And that is when an opener has at least 21 high card points and has either a 5-card or longer major suit, or a 6-card or longer minor suit. The thing is, you're too big to open 1 heart or 1 spade or 1 club or 1 diamond for that matter if you're holding 21 or more high card points. You need to describe correctly your hand for your partner. So what you're going to do is tell your partner that you have a mega hand first by bidding 2 clubs. Then you're going to go through a process of telling your partner about what suit you like, how many points you might be sitting on, okay? And that's where we're going to spend our time now. And we'll talk about other usages in upcoming lessons for this 2-club opener. So on page 5 in your packet, let's practice some 2 clubs openers and see it in action so we get a sense of it. On hand A, on page 5 in your packet, here's a hand that I want you to count your high card points. And honestly, when you have this many points, you got to count them more than once, right? So count the high card points in this hand for me while I Take a drink. How many high card points do you have? Did you come up with 23? Fantastic. You've got a 5-card spade suit. Should you open this one spade, or is this a 2-club opener? This is a 2-club opener. It is. It's too many points to open one spade. If you had 12 to 20, you would open it one spade. The minute you hit 21 points with your 5-card major, you're opening 2 clubs as the first bid. Hand B, count these high card points. Did you come up with 22? I did. Take a look at this shape on this hand. And every time you hear us say the word shape, we're talking about how many cards are in a suit or how many cards are in each suit. This is a wildly unbalanced hand. The minute you have a singleton or a void, you've got an unbalanced hand. Is this a 2-club opener? It absolutely is. With 12 to 20 high card points, you would open this 1 diamond, your longest minor suit. But with 21 or more points, you're going to have to do something bigger. So this is a 2-club opener to get your partner's attention. Hand C, count these high card points. Did you come up with 20 high card points? I did. All right, you've got a 5-card heart suit. Is this a 2-club opener? No, it's not, is it? 12 to 20 high card points, you open 1 heart. And that would be a 1-heart opener on this hand. You would open 1 heart with 12 to 20 points. When you hit 21 high card points, that's when you would use this 2-club mega hand opener. All right, now let me talk to the opponents. Once somebody at the table makes an opening bid of 2 clubs, the very first bid, the opponents are passing. You're not going to have enough points to compete against a 21-point hand. This auction is about to become just a conversation between the 2-club opener and that person's partner, the responder. The opponents have nothing worth saying, and you should not be bidding. Okay? Now, let's say that your partner has opened 2 clubs. The good news for the responder across the table is that that 2-club opener is so strong that the opener needs almost nothing from you, responder, to make a game, really. When one of you holds at least 20 points in your own hand, and the 2-club opener has 21 or more, when one of you holds half of the high card points in the deck in your hand, that point count is actually worth just a smidge more. And the reason is this: you have so many high cards, so many face cards in order to have gotten to 21 points, that once you play those face cards, now even your 9s and your 8s are going to win tricks because people won't have any more cards in whatever suit you were running. So your responder, your 2-club opening partner doesn't need a whole lot for you and can still make a game, all right? But you have to remember that when your partner bids 2 clubs, it's artificial. It does not mean clubs. It means she's got a great big point count. And so she doesn't need a lot from you, but she does need help from you. That 2-club opening bid does not mean clubs. Therefore, you cannot leave her there. Responder, you may not pass. Even if you have 0 high card points, you may not pass, responder, because when the opener says 2 clubs, it doesn't mean clubs. The auction cannot go 2 clubs by me, pass, pass, pass. I'll have to play in 2 clubs as the contract. I might not have a club in my hand. So responder, you must bid something when your partner opens 2 clubs, even if you have 0 points. You must keep the auction open so that it goes back to the responder to the opener, for a second bid, because that's when the opener will name an actual suit or talk about a balanced hand, or in some way or other describe the shape of the opening hand. So 2 clubs as an opening bid is called a demand opening. It is a forcing bid for the responder. Responder must bid something. All right. So responder, what can you do? Well, the good news, responder, is that you will almost always, seriously, almost always bid a very specific thing. And the most common thing a responder says after partner opens 2 clubs, a responder bids two diamonds, that other minor suit. And that two diamond bid is called waiting. You are waiting to hear what the big point count hand is going to do next. The two diamond artificial responding bid does not mean diamonds. You don't have to have any diamonds, responder. It is a placeholder. It is just to keep the auction open so that it goes back to the opener so opener can make a new bid. So your partner has opened two clubs. Your most common response is two diamonds. Waiting. You are waiting to hear opener's first real bid on the next turn and hearing what opener's going to tell you next. So we often use minor suits, clubs and diamonds, as this kind of artificial conversation in bridge. We use it all the time. And so you see it in action here. Now, you have on page 6 in your packet some responder examples that I want you to go through on your own. Notice they all have something in common when you get to them, okay? So let's say you've done that. And let's say that I'm your partner and I've opened, no, I'm going to make it you. You have opened two clubs. You have 21 or more points in your hand and you're unbalanced, let's say. Now I'm your partner, and the opponents are passing. So you've opened two clubs, the opponents are passing. I am your partner. I have responded two diamonds, waiting. I am waiting to hear what your big fat hand is going to do next. So what are you going to do now, opener? As your second bid in the opening seat, you are making an opener's rebid. And it is your first real description of what you have in your hand. Your two club opener was artificial. My two diamonds bid was artificial. Neither one of us meant clubs or diamonds. But now your second bid opener is the first time in this auction you're really talking about what you really have. You are now going to show the shape of your opening hand to the responder. Every time you hear us say the word shape, we are talking about how many cards are in a suit. So here are your options for today. We're going to expand on this in our next lesson, but we're going to narrow our focus today. If you had a 21 or more high card points opener and you had a 5 card or longer major suit, two clubs by you, two diamonds by me, your next bid opener is hearts or spades on the 2 level, no jumping. There's no reason to jump with your big hand. Your 2 club opener already said, whoa, I've got a big point count. So now your second bid opener, 2 hearts or 2 spades, says, now I'm showing you at least 5 cards in the major suit I'm bidding. Okay? It's the same concept as if you'd opened 1 heart or 1 spade, the same shape. But you started with 2 clubs to say, I need your attention, responder. I have 21 or more points. I'm going to need some time to talk about it. So now your second bid opener shows how many cards you have in your suit. All right. Now, your major suit, when you rebid it here, opener, doesn't really need to have honors, just like if you'd opened 1 heart or 1 spade. Doesn't need to have any honors at all. But let's be real. If you're sitting on 21 high card points, you have a lot of face cards, don't you? You're likely to have an honor or 2 in every suit. So, but you don't have to have honors in your 5 card major when you rebid here, okay? So the auction's going to look like this on my screen. 2 clubs is your first bid. 2 diamonds is my responding first bid. We've just kept the auction open. And now, opener, it goes back to you. You rebid as the opener on your second bid 2 hearts. You are saying you have 5 or more heart cards. If instead, and this is not as common at all, but I'm going to mention it, suppose what you have is a 6 card or longer minor suit. You could show that as your shape. You would bid 3 diamonds or 3 clubs. Occasionally, you're going to have this unbalanced hand that is actually leaning towards a long minor suit. Now, we don't like minor suits, but you should describe what you have, opener. It doesn't mean we're going to ultimately play in a minor suit contract. Your job is to describe what you have. So you open 2 clubs first, okay? Then I bid 2 diamonds, right? Artificial 2 clubs by you, artificial 2 diamonds by me. Waiting, I'm waiting to hear what you do next. If you then bid 3 clubs, opener, you are saying you have 6 or more cards in a minor suit, and you did not have a 5 card major. All right. Now, it's possible that you won't have a 5 card major and you won't have a 6 card minor. You'll have something else. And that's what we're talking about next week. I'm not even going down that road. So today's lesson is all about having a long suit to talk about openers. So on page 7 in your packet, let's take a look at how this would work. This is hand J, and you're South. You opened 2 clubs with this hand. Big point count, right? Over 21 or more points. You have an unbalanced hand. You have a 5-card major. So you opened 2 clubs. I'm your partner in North, and I've responded 2 diamonds, waiting. I'm just going to wait to hear your big hand bid the next thing. So South, what is your second bid? Your opener's rebid. What is your first real description? You should bid 2 spades here. It says you have 5 or more spade cards. Okay. Hand K in your packet. You've opened 2 clubs with 21 or more points. You have an unbalanced hand here. You have that long minor suit. I have responded 2 diamonds. Does not mean I like diamonds. I am simply saying waiting. I'm waiting to hear what your opening big hand does next. So opener, what will you bid as your second bid? Your second bid is 3 diamonds. You are describing your shape. You are saying, I don't have a 5-card major. I am showing you a 6-card or longer diamond suit. All right. Hand L in your packet on page 7. You have 21 or more high card points. You have a 5-card or longer heart suit, unbalanced hand. You've opened 2 clubs. Mega hand. North, that's me. I'm your responder. I just want to wait and hear what you're going to do next, so I bid 2 diamonds. Does not mean I like diamonds. I just bid waiting to hear what your opening hand is going to do next. So then we come back to you, South. Your opening hand is going to make a second bid. What are you going to describe as your shape here? You should rebid 2 hearts. Notice you're not jumping. You're bidding on the same 2 level that you opened on. There's no reason for you to jump. You've already told your partner there are 21 or more points in your hand. No reason for you to do any jumping. All you're doing is saying, okay, now on my second bid as opener, I'm telling you about my length. I have at least 5 heart cards. Okay? Now, what does the responder do next? What does the responder do next? The opener has made a first bid. Responder has usually bid 2 diamonds waiting. Opener has made a second bid to talk about shape. And now we come back to responder for a second choice. Responder. And this is going to be a really difficult thing to wrap your head around. Most people struggle with this when they first learn this bid. Responder must make a second bid. Why? Because the opener still did not describe how many points are in the 2 club opening hand. Responder has no idea how many points the 2 club opener has other than 21 or more, right? When the opener made the second bid, all the opener said was, okay, look, here's my major. It's at least 5 cards. But it did not define how many points above 21 points are sitting in the opening hand. What if the opener is sitting on 29 points? So, responder, you must take a second bid to allow the auction to return once again to the opener. And you must do this, responder, even with 0 points in your hand. You must bid again, responder, okay? You have to allow the auction to go back to the opener one more time, because that's when the opener will talk about points, all right? The second bid by the opener talked about shape. A third bid by the opener will give that person a chance to talk about points. Now, sometimes it doesn't even have to go to the opener again. You'll see that in a minute. You'll see what I'm talking about. But sometimes the opener needs more time, all right? So what does responder do on a second bid? Well, 2 clubs by the opener, 2 diamonds by the responder. Did the opener make a rebid with a 5-card major suit? Did the opener's second bid, was it 2 hearts or 2 spades? Responder, if you have 3-card support for whatever suit the opener has bid now, you're going to bid game. And that's true even if you have 0 points. Yeah, I know that does not sound right, right? Very scary, very scary. There is more to this as we go down the road, but let's make it as simple as possible right now, because you must bid twice, responder, even if you had 0 points. If you do, in fact, have a fit with the opener, just bid the game. Do it, even with 0 points. If you know you have a major suit fit, get to game. Remember, the opener could be sitting on 28 points, right? So just get there. Now, what if you did not have a fit in opener's major suit, responder? Well, then you're going to bid some level of no trump. Remember that the opener has 21 or more points. You only need 4 points to know you have a game, responder. If you have those 4 points and no fit for opener's major suit, bid 3 no trump. If you have 0 to 3 points, bid 2 no trump, invite. Okay? What if opener's second bid was not a major suit, but was a 6-card or longer minor suit? Well, I don't care whether you have a fit or not in the minor suit, responder. Doesn't matter. We're going to bid no trump. We're not going to play in a minor suit in this case. Let's play a no trump and get a better score. With at least 4 points in your hand, responder, bid 3 no. With 0 to 3 points, bid 2 no. We're just not going to play in a minor suit game. We're going to play a no trump. A lot of confusing information here, a lot. And we're just scratching the surface. And this is all we're going to do with this. So let's take a look at some of the examples in your packet. I'm going to look at hand 1. Now, South is our dealer. And South is sitting on 23 high card points. Wow. Has a 5-card or longer major suit. This is absolutely a 2-club opener because South has too many points to open 1 heart. So instead, South is going to start this process by saying in first, look, responder, I need your attention. I have this mega point count. I'm going to make this artificial 2-club opening bid first. That's going to get your attention. I'll talk more about my hand next. Okay, so 2 clubs is the opening bid by South. East and West are now going to be passing. This becomes a conversation between South's opening hand and North's responding hand. Now, North, you're the responder with 7 high card points. You know, one of the first things that occurs to me is if my partner opened 2 clubs with 21 points and I'm North with 7 points, I know we have a game somewhere, right? But my first job is to help my opening partner describe her hand. You should not go anywhere else, North. Even if you had 0 points, you would keep the auction alive. You would bid something, right? Because South does not have clubs necessarily. When she bid 2 clubs, you have to bid something to keep the auction alive. So your first response, North, is an artificial bid to keep the auction going. You respond 2 diamonds, waiting. I'm going to wait and let South's opening hand describe shape on the next bid. All right, you're going to wait to hear what the big hand's going to say next. Now, South, we come back to your opening hand, and this is your first real description of the shape of your hand, your unbalanced hand. This is where you talk about what suit has length. You have 5 or more heart cards. You should now rebid 2 hearts. And this is all the 2 heart bid shows. Doesn't say anything else about your point count. Your responder only knows you have 21 or more high card points. Doesn't know how many, but now has learned you have at least 5 heart cards. That's all it shows. So North, when we come back to you, this is going to be your first real bid as the responder. You look for a fit with South's heart suit. Okay, you do have 3 card support for South's 5 or more hearts. Fantastic. I don't want to hear about North's clubs. Yeah, they're long. I don't care. You always go with the major suit fit, right? Right. You have 9 points once you add 2 distribution points for the diamond suit. Do you, North, with your 9 points, opposite South's 21 points, have a game? I think so. You get to 25, and you know there's a heart fit. During the second round of the auction, the one who knows goes. So North, your second bid as responder should go right to 4 hearts. You know there's a heart fit. You know there's a game. And we get to game with responder's second bid. There's no reason for South to bid again, right? South doesn't even need to describe the point count. North's responding hand helped out. Since North's responding hand knew there was a game and North got there, South, you're just going to pass. We're going to play in 4 hearts. So that's hand 1 in your packet. Let's go look at hand 2 in your packet. Again, South is your dealer. Ooh, South has 24 high card points. Wow. South has a 5-card or longer major suit, but South's first job is to make that mega hand bid because South has too many points to open 1 spade, right? So don't open 1 spade. And don't bid 2 spades or 3 spades. That doesn't mean you have more. Does anybody remember preemptive bidding? when you have a weak point count in a long suit? Yeah, 2 spades does not mean you have more points. It means you have weak points. And we'll come back around to preemptive bidding, so you'll hear that again. 2 club opener says, I have a mega hand. I need time to talk about my hand. Now, North, you are the responder. You have at least 6 high card points opposite South's 21 or more. So you already know you have a game, but your job is to just go with the flow on your first response. Your job is to keep the auction open so that the big point count hand can make the next major declaration. So even if you had 0 points, you would still bid here. Remember, South doesn't have a club suit. Your job is to make an artificial bid here to keep the auction open. You're going to respond 2 diamonds, waiting to hear what the big hand will say next. Now we come back to South's opening hand. This is your first real bid, South. You're going to describe the shape of your opening hand now. You have at least 5 cards in the major suit. You should make a second bid as opener of 2 spades. All that bid shows is that you have at least 5 spade cards. It does not tell your responder how many points above 21 points you have. It just doesn't. Now the auction goes to North's responding hand. North, this is your first chance to make a real bid to show opener whether or not you're on track together. Do you have a fit with South's spade suit? Well, yeah, you do. Great. You get to add 2 distribution points. Don't even think about showing that long diamond suit. You have a fit in a major. Stick with it. You get 2 more points for distribution for hearts and clubs. You now have 8 points in your responding hand opposite South's 21 or more high card points. You absolutely know there are 25 points, and you know there's a spade fit. Go to game right now. Second round of the auction, the one who knows goes. And because you go to game, responder, opener doesn't even need a third bid. Opener doesn't need to talk more about her point count because you already knew you could bring enough points to find game. So now this contract is played in 4 spades by South, who named spades first. Now the big point count hand is hidden from the opponents. Now it doesn't always work that way that you can keep the big point count hand hidden. You try to, but it doesn't always work. Let's look at hand 5. Hand 5. South is the dealer. South has 22 high card points and a 5 card or longer major. Too many points to open 1 heart, right? So you're going to open the mega hand 2 club opener. North, you've got 5 or more high card points. You know right now there's enough for a game, don't you? Because South is already showing 21 points. But your job is to keep the auction open and allow South to talk more about the big hand. So, and even if you had 0 points, you would bid here. You've got to keep the auction open. So your first response is an artificial bid most of the time. It is the 2 diamond waiting bid, waiting to hear what the big hand will say next. Now, South, you're going to describe the shape of your opening hand. What do you have that has length? You've got a long heart suit, 5 or more cards. So your second bid is 2 hearts. I have at least 5 heart cards. It doesn't say anything more about your 21 or more points. We still don't know if you have more than 21 points. We just know that you now are showing 5 or more heart cards. Now, North, we go to your responding hand, and now something's different, isn't it? This is your first real bid after you've both made artificial bids. You look for a fit in South's heart suit, but the problem, North, is you do not have 3 heart cards to go with South, do you? This is a problem, right? This is a problem, and it's a problem because you must bid another time, responder. You must bid a second time. South has not yet fully described how many points are sitting in South's opening mega hand. You have to allow the auction to go back to South, but you don't have a heart fit. So what can you make as your second bid now, responder? You should return to 3 no trump because you have 5 points. If you had 0 to 3 points, you would bid 2 no trump. With 4 or more high card points, responder, and no fit for the heart suit, you would bid 3 no trump. This says to the opener, look, I don't have your hearts. I don't have them. But I do have enough points for, or you're 21 to go to game. We do have 25 points. Why not bid your own suit, responder? We will talk about whether you can bid your own suit down the road, but I'll tell you right now, you need a good 5-card suit with honors. And you're just not going to have that most of the time. You're just not. In fact, you don't have it here. So you're going to go to no trump. That specifically says I don't have a fit with your hearts. But knowing you have 21 or more opening points, I'm telling you we have 25 points. I have at least 4 of them. All right? Okay. The problem here is that who said no trump first? Yeah, the responding hand, right? And that means that South's 22-point hand just became the dummy. But the thing is, sometimes that's what happens. And if this is the process that happened at your table on board 5, it is probably going to be the process that happens at every table on board 5, which means everybody's going to do this the same way. Everybody's big hand is on the table as dummy. The playing field gets leveled. Everybody's going to operate the same way. So it's not really a disadvantage if everybody's doing the same thing, but it does happen that way. I want to look at hand 7 with you. On hand 7, North is the dealer, has 21 or more high card points, right? Now South, you do not have a 5-card or longer major suit, do you? That's what we've been talking about up to now. But you do have a 6-card or longer minor suit. Well, that's still an unbalanced hand, and it's still 21 or more points. You would not open that hand 1 diamond. It has too many points, all right? It's still a mega hand opener. You're still going to open this 2 clubs with 21 or more points and an unbalanced hand. And today we're defining that as 5 or more cards in a major or 6 or more cards in a minor. Now, North, you're the responding hand. You know South has 21 or more points. You must bid something to keep the auction open, right? Your response is going to be 2 diamonds, waiting. You're waiting to hear what the big hand will do next. Now, opener in South, this is your first real bid, right? You do not have a 5-card major suit. You're not bidding a major. You have that long 6-card or more minor suit. Your job is still to describe the shape of your hand. I know. How do we feel about minor suits? Puh, right? But your job here is to describe what you really have. You have to have at least 6 cards in a minor suit to bid a minor suit now, and you do have that. Doesn't matter how pretty they are. Your second bid as openers 3 diamonds, and that says, I've got a long diamond suit, no 5-card major. The auction goes back to North's responding hand. Remember, responder, you must take a second bid. You still don't know how many points are sitting in South's mega hand. You know it's 21. You don't know how many more it is. You are sitting on 6 high card points, North. You know the partnership is 25. You shouldn't stop here, right? But we do not like minor suits, do we? We don't. Puh. Your job now, since opener did not show you a major suit, and again, I said to you a few minutes ago, you have to have 5 cards in your own major suit if you wanted to bid your own suit now. You don't have a 5-card or longer major suit. I don't want to hear about your minor suits. So instead, what are you going to do? Well, since we don't like to play in minor suits, and you've got at least 4 high card points per game, let's go to the game in no trump. Yeah, you become the declarer responder. It's probably going to happen that way at every table. Go back to no trump. Just go to no trump. If we can't find a major suit fit, let's play in no trump. We have so many points between us that we can probably take 9 tricks and 3 no trump without any trouble. Okay? One last hand. Hand 9 in your packet. South has 23 high card points. Oh, I said 22 here, but it's 23 high card points, I believe. Yes. 21, 22, 23. Yes, this is wrong here on the screen. This is not 22. It should be 23. So South has 21 or more high card points and a 5-card major, right? So South opens the mega hand, 2 clubs. North, you only have 2 tiny high card points. That's not good, is it? Should you bid or should you pass? You can't pass, right? You're not allowed to pass. 2 clubs as a mega hand opener is a demand bid for the responder. You must bid. You must bid twice. So I didn't trick you, right? You know that you have to bid 2 diamonds here. Waiting. You're waiting to hear what the big hand says next, even if you're sitting on as few as 0 points. Now, South is going to make a second bid here as opener to talk about the shape of South's opening hand. With 5 or more heart cards, South is going to now rebid 2 hearts. Hey, in addition to my 21 or more points, I've got 5 or more hearts. Now we go back to North. North, you're not sure what to do, right? But you do remember you have to take a second bid. Why? Because the opener in South might be sitting on 25, 27, 28 points. And the opening mega hand has not been able to talk about the points yet. So you have to bid something. You do have a fit with opener's heart suit. Yay. You do not add any distribution. You don't have any. I don't care that you have 2 points. You should immediately go to 4 hearts. With a fit, even if you have below 4 points to go with South 21, at this point in your bridge career, go to game. Does not feel right, does it? No, it certainly doesn't. I know you're saying, but what if we don't have 25? I know. I want you to go to game anyway at this point in your bridge career. You're just going to have to trust me right now. Why doesn't North just bid 3 hearts? I mean, 3 hearts is still available, right? Because 3 hearts actually does not mean, hey, I only have a few points. That's what you'd like it to mean, but it actually doesn't mean that. And honestly, I'm not going to go down the path of telling you what it means just yet. But it does mean something very, very different. You'd like it to mean, hey, I only have almost no points. It doesn't mean that. So right now in your bridge career, if you have a fit in opener's major suit, even if you have 0, 1, 2, 3 points, if you don't have the 4 points for game, still bid the game. I know. Okay. Bid game, responder, hope for the best. Okay. So you have a summary in your packet that I'd like you to look through. We identify all the things that we've talked about today. Hopefully you can use that as a guideline, maybe even build your own guideline in your help document for Bridge 3, I believe. You will find a summary for the 2 club opener and responses, all right? So a lot to think about, a whole lot of stuff here. Let's see if you can do the exercises in the packet. Send me an email if you get stuck. And in class, when we meet together, we'll practice this some more, okay? Okay, take care.